Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA. So excited out of my mind today to be here. This is the South Bay Junior Academy over in Torrance. This is the school garden that we were talking about. Made a few YouTube videos about it. Today is planting day. I wanted to show you the progress of what we're doing here. So we got the trees planted. These are these big giant Hass avocado trees. They're going to frame the living today without borrowing from tomorrow. That's what sustainability is about. Right in back of us, we have these planters that actually wick water, so they save a ton of water. These are compliments of Mr. Glenn Henry out of Compton. We are gonna be doing the next phase. So actually the next phase was we just got these big trees planted this morning. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run drip irrigation to the trees. Drip irrigation will save a ton of water. If you're gonna plant trees, fruit trees, whatever type of trees, you want to use drip irrigation. And the particular type of drip irrigation we like using is the sustainable drip irrigation by Rainbird called the Copper Shield technology. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few of the components that we're going to use, and I actually have Rainbird's think tank. They're out here. We got the distributor Ewing Irrigation out of Torrance, and so follow me. First of all, what we have is the system starts with a couple of different valves. This is the regular Rainbird valve. In fact, if you're going to do sprinklers, you probably want to do this. However, I wouldn't recommend doing sprinklers, not in most applications. Once in a while it's good, but you know, the better thing to do is to use the Rainbird low flow valve. It's got an LFV there, low flow. Now I have Rainbird's experts here to tell us why this is important. So Dave, Ryan, you want to come? Dave, this is Dave Colombo from Rainbird, been there for over 3 decades, and give us why this valve is used. I mean, there's a lot of valves that are used for drip irrigation, but why is this particular one the bomb? There's nothing like it.
Well, this valve here has a special diaphragm that's built for low flows, which are typically what you see with drip irrigation. So it has a smaller diaphragm area that is not going to weep or have any problems when you're putting just a small amount of drip tubing or a few number of emitters and stuff. So without a doubt, this has been tested and works excellent for all drip irrigation systems, particularly for low flows.
Oh, great. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dave. And we have the particular type of tubing we're using. It's called the Rainbird Copper Shield technology drip irrigation. And it's a round tubing, but it has a little strip of copper every 12 inches. It's really great. In a moment, we're going to show you exactly what this looks like. But in the meantime, Ryan, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Copper Shield? Why is it the most unique thing on the most unique product?
Yeah, absolutely. So the copper actually prevents roots from intruding into the emitters themselves and clogging the emitters. So there you go. So in each of the emitters that we have here, which will be spaced out every 12 inches, there's a little shield of copper inside of it. And what that does is as the roots are growing around the tubing, it doesn't allow the roots to go in and actually prevent the water from coming out.
Interesting. Wow. This is very, very cool. So what we're gonna, now where did we get this from? This is sustainable drip irrigation. It's the only sustainable drip irrigation that I know of on the market. That's why we use it. That's all we use. Where do we get this from? I have James from Ewing Irrigation. Can you let us know a little bit about Ewing and your philosophy?
Absolutely. Ewing is one of the largest family-owned distributors of landscape products in the country. We focus primarily on professional-grade products. So, as Mike likes to say, you know, we're going to have the stuff that's at a higher grade, higher quality than you'd get in your typical big box store. We also have staff that are extremely knowledgeable on how to put in drip systems and how to do things the right way. So Ewing is proud to be involved with your project here today and proud to be a partner with you, Mike.
Thank you, James. Now on a practical note, these are trees, and if you're going to do anything with trees, a tree expert is called a certified arborist. And so today we're going to ask, there's actually going to be a method to the proper way to irrigate a tree with drip irrigation. Now, I showed you the components, and so now we're going to bring Louis, we're going to bring you in, and can you kind of a certified arborist, Louis Gamino from Enviroscape LA? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, Mike, thanks for bringing me in. The goal of irrigating is to be able to irrigate those roots, to get the water where that tree is going to be able to use it, maximize it. Now, for instance, we'll take a look at this Valencia orange tree here. It's a 24-inch box, so meaning the root ball that comes standard is 24 inches out from the trunk of the tree. Now, keep in mind at the nursery, they're watering it every single day, right? They want to have that nice, beautiful, optimum-looking tree with lots of dark green foliage denoting it's very healthy. The goal, of course, is to apply water in a way that will maximize the tree's potential to have root growth. So if we apply water directly to the trunk, which is where the tape measure is now, that's going to create a nice, moist environment there that all sorts of fungi and nasty bacteria that will actually break down root tissue and trunk tissue would love to go ahead and live. We don't want to apply water there. It's important, we're going to keep it right about here where my tape measure is. That's about 10 inches off the trunk, but if you notice all those fine little root hairs there, they're going to get covered with mulch as well as a drip tubing, where that's where we're going to go ahead and apply the water. So we're going to begin about right here. But of course, we don't just want to think of this growing season, we want to think of next year and the year after. So that irrigation, that drip zone, is going to continue farther out. We're going to allow for that tree to come out feet, about 5 feet approximately, where those roots can go out and gather the water that we're going to go ahead and apply. As a matter of fact, this initial drip tubing we're going to put in here about 8 inches off, that's temporary. We're going to remove that in about a year, because water is no longer going to be needed there. If waters continue to apply there, it will actually have a negative effect on the tree. So we're planning not just for today, but for the future as well. We're going to allow the moisture to extend far out, where its roots will be farther out here in the zone as well.
Great. Thank you, Louis. And how is this going to be, in a practical way, how is this whole system going to work? This is called a Rainbird timer. It's got the instructions, and it's got the, and look, if it rains, you click it off. Doesn't get any easier than that, folks. I mean, really, come on. And then it's easy to program. In fact, the ESP, it doesn't read your mind, it practically does, but it actually stands for extra simple programming. I mean, again, it's homeowner friendly. It's the thing we like to use at Enviroscape because we like to keep our clients happy. Also, another point to keep in mind is that this whole system, what we're trying to create here was we're trying to encourage mycorrhiza. We're trying to encourage the good bugs in the garden. And so we have horticultural expert Mr. Glenn Henry, who's actually we're going to ask you Glenn, just to say a few words about the worms and the permaculture.
Well, Mike, we've learned that we can't grow anything. It is the nature of creation just to be able to make the entire environment in the soil work, keeping the soil alive. And that is to take care of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. And that's done many different ways, and that's with composting, proper water, not washing the trees down, not putting an environment together where fungus will grow on the actual trees themselves, but to get a good watering system that is consistent and a feeding program that is consistent with the help of compost, compost teas, a little worm poop. Can I say that?
It's rated G, of course.
Oh, okay, all right, good. Those natural ingredients is going to really beneficial for getting not only the nutrients into the plant, but make sure that the mineral content is proper. And the systems that have been mentioned are light years ahead, but actually it's the original technology brought to a point where we can put it where it needs to be. And that gets us closer to that sustainability.
Exactly. Thank you. And so this whole garden is about food production, teaching kids the tomato sauce doesn't come from pizza, but it comes from a tomato, which is a plant. And that reminds me that besides the wicking beds, besides the drip irrigation, if you really want to do something amazing, look to NASA. NASA invented a way of growing called aeroponic gardening to grow food in outer space. Guess what? They found out that this way of gardening can actually save over 90% of water over a traditional soil garden. Did I pique your curiosity? Yeah, there's a way to grow vegetables with saving over 90% water. On top of that, the University of Mississippi did a study and found out that the food that was grown here was actually more, well, it at least met or in some cases exceeded the field-grown stuff. You want to see one? Follow me. Check this out. We got some more trees planted here in the. We got some more trees planted here. We're going to run the drip irrigation here, but these are the gardens. If you get close enough here, you can see where it's December, and we've still got tomatoes. Oops, one fell. Well, you know where that's going to go. Wow, sweet, it's like candy. This is aeroponic gardening. Well, there's a tank on the bottom, shoots water up to the top. The water billows down, and this one needs to be replanted, but it basically hits the root zone. And it does that 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. It's a fabulous way to grow vegetables if you're in an apartment and you don't have much room. You don't, come on over here, Kelsey. Let me know your experience with vertical gardening.
Well, I have a tower garden on my balcony in my house, on my second-story balcony, and I plant seedlings, lettuces, basil, arugula, and I planted those at the same time in my vertical garden as I did in my raised bed soil garden, and there's no comparison. My soil garden plants are still super small. They're still almost look like they're still sprouts. And my vertical garden looks much like this. Actually, probably more like this one over here. I've been eating off of it, you know, basically all winter. I've been eating my arugula. I just go upstairs, take off my lettuce. And so it's just been incredibly productive. It's really plug and play. I just fill up the reservoir with water, and I don't have to think about watering it really ever. I just kind of go out there and get the food when I need it and add nutrients every once in a while, and it's a no-brainer. And of course you're recycling water, so that's always a plus.
Wow. Yeah, you just get it. And so hopefully with the aeroponic gardens here at the school, we're going to be able to teach the kids, at least in Southern California, this is how it's done. This is how you save water. This is how you grow non-GMO food, you know, without chemicals, pesticide-free, herbicide-free. Doesn't get any better than that. I wanted to show you over here, we're actually going to do a chicken coop. City of Torrance. We're in the city of Torrance, so we're actually going to build a chicken coop here, and going to let the chickens do their thing, going to get fresh eggs. We'll do another video on that, chickens in Torrance, California. But in the meantime, just suffice it to say that this project is moving forward. I do want to show you one little thing. Rainbird actually came out with this. Here's a lawn. If you have grass and a lawn at home, and let's say you have dogs or kids, it's going to be hard for your dogs or kids to eat or to play on prickly cactus. We'd rather have them play on the lawn. If they do, Rainbird has the drip irrigation. At the end of the lines of the drip irrigation, they actually have the special tubing. Only Rainbird makes this, and it actually is it's called a header, a QF header. And it actually it snakes around through, makes drip irrigation really easy to use. Again, you can get it at Ewing Irrigation in Torrance. So that's about it for now. I really love you to come by, check out our the community garden out here in Torrance, California. And we'll be done in a couple hours here, and we'll do another YouTube video once the chickens get in. We're going to do classes here. The world's first community garden, sustainable community garden that grows food with recycling water. It doesn't get any better than that. So come join us, have some fun. Mike from Enviroscape LA signing off. When you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.